Hi folks, Rich Pasini from rjpasini.com. Coming to you this evening to talk about making a custom box, and I want to do it really quick, hopefully. When you're making a custom box, it's not actually that quick. But I want to show you what I do. Here it's 10:30 at night, most of your stores are closed, and when you're in a jam and you don't have that specific box to prep your item to get it shipped out, the next step is to make a custom box. So let's get started. Here you see I have a box, well, part of a box. This was that 14 by 14 by 24, I think it was. The box I bought, these boxes I buy at Walmart, and it's pretty cut and dry, what I'm about to show you. Well, this particular one is, anyway. I have this unit, well, this item I'm going to send out, okay? And what you're going to do is, you take the sides like this, okay? Let me put the webcam down if I could over here, just to show you what I'm doing here. Okay, so let me move this here. So what you're going to do is, you're going to take this box here, fold up the one fold, right? You take a pen, and you mark it off. I already did this already just to prep it, so what you're going to do is you just mark it off like this, slide it back, actually using the box to mark it down, you just slide it down like that. Try to, if you have it, we want to make sure the item doesn't fall off, of course. Take a utility knife, somewhat sharp. And what you want to do is, not why this is on there, because you don't want to cut the box. What you want to do is move that to the side. And with the pen mark, just give it a light scribe. I already did this here just to show you really quick. And if you want to make that good fold, what you would do is just hold it like that and just go like this. Okay. The next thing you want to do is get the item again. Okay. Now, I could do this where I could move this up here. Well, it'd be a perfect fold in the middle, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm not going to worry about doing that. So what I'm going to do is take this box, the item. I'm using a box to help me out here, to be honest with you. And again, I'm going to take my pen, put the item there like this. Okay, and what you're going to do is, again, take a pen and just go like this. Now you might say, why don't you just scribe the whole thing with the knife, but I'd rather do it this way, okay? And again, you use it, because you're actually using the box or the packaging that you're going to send out as a guide. Again, move it to the side because you don't want to cut it, and you do it by eye. Again, you take the knife here. Keep a steady hand, like this. Put this to the side here. Okay, you take this and go like this. Okay. Now you package it here. Now you're starting to see the picture here. See what you got? See what you got going here? Okay. Same thing. The reason why I'm flipping around is because I don't want to, this might throw it off over here. So what you're going to do is take the package again and go like this. This is like if you're in a catch-22. I ran out of boxes. I mean, the sales have been pretty good so far. I'm selling a lot of stuff, and I don't store too much packaging, too many boxes, because I sell other things where I don't require a whole bunch of boxes. But what I usually do is I buy big boxes. Like I said, at Walmart, I think I mentioned in one of my earlier videos. And I buy, I think it's the 14 by 14 by 24. I believe that's what it is. And those boxes, out of those boxes, for $1.32, I can make 4 or 5 boxes depending on the items, how big they are. Now these custom boxes, not everybody's going to do this, folks, so just to let you know. I mean, I don't mind doing this. Ever since I started doing this here, ever since I've been selling stuff, all I've been doing is making custom boxes. Okay, now, you see what we got going here? All right, you might say, why don't you take the, I could actually, I actually could take the utility knife, and just cut down here like that. All right. And this here you can go like this with it. See what you got? Okay. Now, without cutting the item, just be very careful. And this one very gently and easy like this. Always save these pieces. You never know they're going to come in handy for. Okay, so now you say, okay, well, now you got that little piece there. Well, this is where, now, sometimes the box might come out a little discombobulated. Don't worry about that, okay? This looks like it might work, depending on how even the sides are. In some cases, if you don't have enough to fold in the middle, what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of cardboard and just put it in here and do it that way. All right, we want to do is we want to fold one side, at least one side up. So it looks like, and try to have a ruler with you, of course. Try to be consistent if you could. A lot of times I do stuff. It's usually 3 inches on both sides. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what's on this side here. Now it's a little shallow here. Okay, so we might have to go probably 2.5. I would say 2.5 on this side and 2.5 on this side. That should do it. Okay. So after you get your measurements, again, just take your pen. This on this side. Now you got your mark here. See here, folks? See that mark there? Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to, we're only doing one side, mind you, okay? You're going to cut down here. Okay, like so. Alright. You want to cut right on that line. Okay, you want to cut right on that line. And then you want to take a knife and again score it very lightly. You don't want to cut this piece off. Okay. Bingo. Now, you probably could see what's happening here. You see what's going to happen? It's going to start taking shape. You probably could just go eye it up like this. You could probably just eye it up like this. Take your utility knife and go straight down. But if you're off, you might be a little erratic. The best thing to do is just do it a ruler. We know it's 2.5 inches, right? So this here, we know it's 2.5 inch mark. You know, you want these to look good too. I mean, considering, you know, it is going to your customer, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, take your ruler like that. Make sure you got your measurements for somewhat good. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Now, some people might say, why you got to use the pen and do that there? Because sometimes I like to eye it up. I train myself to do with that, but for the most part, if you stay on the line, it's not really hard to do. I'm pretty consistent with it. I've been doing this here for a long time. Whoops. That's where you got to use the ruler so you don't get another bend. All right. So now, same thing here applies. The 2.5 inch mark. Okay. So you can't go by this because if this is pushed in, you got to move it like that. All right. But you want to go, but actually you want to go on the side here. Okay. I know this might seem like a lot of work, and I guarantee you, I don't think a lot of people are going to do what I do, but like I said, it's 10:30 at night, and all the stores are closed, and I didn't think any orders were going to come in. It's kind of like last minute orders. I also have another one I had to make a box for. So that's it. Here we go over here. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I've done this, folks. It comes in handy if you need to make boxes. And you know something? By having the custom-made boxes like this, sometimes you got to score it a little better here. By having the custom boxes like this here, you save money in the sense that you're not really... Oh, okay. You see over here, you got to cut this down here too. Now, You see that reference mark? You want to cut down from that point on, from that point to the edge here, like that. Okay, now let's see what we got here. All right, there you go. See what's happening here? Don't worry about that because we're going to trim that off. We're going to trim that there. Okay. It looks a little out of whack, but that's all going to be trimmed. Okay. Now, with your item back in here again, it's a perfect fit all the time, right? You say what's going to happen here, right? Okay. It's going to be a perfect fit. This, you're going to show you what's going to be done with that. That's not going to stay like that. Okay. Now, we're going to take that box out. You don't want too much cardboard there. So what you're going to do is trim it. But the way you're going to do that is because, again, you want to make sure the lines stay up. So with the box in here again, you're not going to cut, and don't cut it while the item is in there because you're going to end up ruining it. But what you want to do is take your ruler, like that if you could. Alright. It's a little difficult doing it this way. Okay, but make sure it's tight like that. Alright. And you're going to take the pen. Remember, don't cut by the items in the box. Okay. Because you'll cut it and damage it up. Now, what you want to do is do it again by freehand, whatever. Stay like this. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just showing you how to make a box look decent. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna trim this side here without cutting your hand. Okay. And you get something like this. So that's why it'll look something like along that line like that. You'll tape it up, that'll be fine. Okay, I need this again in there. Okay. Might have to do a little trimming on the edges, but it doesn't matter. And we're not going to use all of this, I can tell you right to boot. That's not going to happen. Matter of fact, we're going to cut a lot of that off because the more you keep putting on, the more you add to that there, the more heavy the box is going to get. So with the item in there, you're just going to go like this, up, like this, and again. You can always remember, take the package out, the item out. You got that like that now. See what you got here? Now this is what we're going to, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is what we're going to cut off, right? This is what's being cut off. Sometimes you got to check yourself out here. You got to make sure you're doing the right thing. So. Make sure you're right on the money. There's somewhat on there. It doesn't have to be perfect, folks. It's just this is for like one of these catch-22 things that you're in a bind and you're saying to yourself, wow, it's late at night. You want the stores are closed. I didn't get a chance to go because you were filling all the orders out and and you're doing this here. Okay. I wouldn't say if you had 100 of these to do this because I think I messed up on this one a little, but it's okay. If you had like 100 of these things, you're not going to do this. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't do it. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, now what are you going to do with this here? This is going to get taped. So don't worry about that. That's going to get taped. Alright? Don't worry about that. That's going to be taped up. Now, same thing with this. We don't want all of this. What you might want to do, and this you could do freehand, you want to make a little lip so you can fold it in. Okay? So you like this. You don't have to be perfect with this either. Just do it by eye. You just want a little lip. It doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes it's a little hard to do this here. The boxes can be a little stubborn sometimes. See, it's a little off, but we don't care about that. I'll show you why in a minute. Okay. You want that little lip. You want that little lip for, if you want to make it look nice and neat, you just cut it with a knife here. That's scissors. Okay. Sometimes I get a little carried away, folks, but you know, that's just the way, that's my nature. I like to, if I'm going to do things, I like to do it right. And again, I wouldn't advise anybody to do this, what I do. Okay. So, you see what I'm saying? Now it gives a nice little needle look there. See? You're going to put tape over here. That's where the craft tape comes in. Now, once you get your sides all done up, like this, you're going to need your little tape friend here to help you out. You need your tape buddies here to help your hand here. They're going to help you out. And I hate when this happens. That always has driven me crazy when you tape sticks. Okay. Like this, yeah. This is just to hold it in. We're not going to be perfect. This is just to give you a little idea what's going on here. Alright? A lot of people, I assure you, are probably not going to do this here, but that's okay. You know, some people may say, I'm not going to worry about the extra postage or anything like that. I'm going to do what I got to do. It's fine, you know. Me, I'm trying to do it right. And that's why I like to do things. Okay, you don't want to seal this up yet. I'm not going to go through the whole format, but like I said, I'm not going to show you the packaging because the packaging, this is a tight package. It's going to be pretty much just the way it is. Alright, because it's in a box. It's a box within a box. Okay, so we figured the 2.5 inches on this here. Let's double check it again. We're just about finished wrapping up here. Okay. Okay. And when you put your tape on there, when you tape it up, it's going to look really nice. Nice and neat. Okay. Again, I believe it's 2 inches around. What you could do if you want to be a little on the lazy side, you just go like this, make sure everything's down tight. Okay, so now you get your measurements like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is, see the things inside? You take your utility knife again. Well, you can't see here, but I'm going to cut from that point on here. You want to cut from that. You want to cut from this part here. See where that line is? You just want to cut from there and start up. Okay. Okay. Same thing. So this is a little difficult doing this way, to be honest with you. You gotta be very careful because it's very narrow in there. Okay. Alright, there you go. Same thing. Now with this, you can just go down here, but you know, and follow that line the best you can. If you have good lighting, that helps too. Okay. And this has to get cut here. You gotta make a flap here. Okay. And you gotta go down here. Well, we already did that. Okay. And we gotta go down here one more time. By eye here. Well, actually not by eye, you're doing on a line. Okay. And this has been done. Okay. Now all we gotta do is this guy here, this side. And again, oops, try to stay on the line as best you can. You know, eventually you'll make your own, you'll perfect your own way of doing it. Okay? Alright. Same thing. You trim it up a little. Like that. You can trim it. Okay. Let's see how it fits. Let's put it right over here. Okay. Bring this guy up. Just like this, like this. This really doesn't need too much trimming, to be honest with you. But let me see. Let me just to play it on the safe side. It could probably use a little trimming here. We'll trim it up, make it look a little neater. A little neater. Okay. Now, I know I said don't do it with the box, but I'm away from it, so I'm just going to cut it down like this here. You know, if you do enough of these here, you'll eventually you'll have a better system to do it. You do your own. You know, you'll find a better way to do it, and that's fine. You know, you do what you got to do. See, when it's like this here, I don't like to leave it sloppy like that. I like to trim it up. I know people might say, "Eh, it's a box. Who cares?" That's just my nature. Okay, so you go like this here. You want to do the whole side, of course. There is probably a way of doing this here where you don't have to use all this tape like this here. I like to go a little like this here and go even in there if you could. Flap it over this way, gives it a little more strength, rigidity too. Okay. But again, you don't have to be too perfect. Oh yeah, this we're cutting off. I forgot to cut that off. We don't need that on there. Being brave here, I'm taking it off like that. Okay. And that little lip, right? It doesn't go that way, it goes in. Well, I'm not going to seal 100% because I got to put the package slip in here. But anyway, on the sides, you want them to look good. And what you're going to do is, after you get it all boxed up, see here? Can you see that? You don't want to leave that like that. That's sloppy and it doesn't look good. So what you're going to do is, you don't have to if you don't want, but I would. I highly recommend you do it because, you know, anything happens to, you know, the package opens up and stuff like that, it won't look good. You know, another little trick I like to do too. Some people fold them in and then you end up having that tab there sticking out. You know what I do? I take the razor blade, you got this, you fold it this way, and you go down like this. It looks nice, and it gives a nice, neat look. See? Same thing with that. That's because the knife went through a little too deep. Well, these ain't the greatest boxes either, but you know what? They do the job. And if you're in a bind like I am, I want to get this ready for tomorrow. Whoops! I want to get this ready for tomorrow to go out. So what I do is I end up doing these type of things. Same thing. A little slit. Pull this way, pull that way. That makes it look a little neater too. You know, the customer's not going to be too fussy. I mean, you know, your objective is to get. Anyway, I'm just going to show you what it looks like tucked in. I'm not going to close the whole thing and tighten it up, but you get the gist of it. When I tape it up, that'll be all taped up with the tape, the craft. Piece of tape goes here. And you got yourself a nice box, custom made. You might say, why is there no packaging material in there? Because it's a box within a box, and that's for that. The other thing, I can't get into it just yet because we'll be sitting here all night. I got to make a custom box for this. This is going to be a little challenging. Well, not really, but you know, the rule of thumb is, see, I say box is the part of it, and I'm not going to get into it just yet because you probably want to say I'm going to do this, but this might take a little longer than expected. But the rule of thumb is, when you're doing something like this, you take a ruler, try to measure, you know, how high, well, in this case, how tall it is from the crane. The crane doesn't disassemble. So it's basically 8 inches, right? 8 inches by, well, you got to go, again, you got to turn it around this way. I'm not taking measurements right now. And you would figure it out. I would say 8 inches, well, 8 inches by 8 inches, basically, right? Because that's where I would do it. And then this would have to be cut down. This is going to be a little more, not challenging, but I don't want to get into it right now. But I did say, when I commented in my YouTube about making a box, I did say that I was going to, you know, go over and show you how I did it. That's pretty cut and dry, that one there. That's really easy. I had ones where I had to ship a motorcycle helmet out, and I had a box. It was the box that I used. This is what I was talking about. Oh, sorry, I said 14 by 14. This is 16 by 16 by 15. These boxes are big. I mean, when you cut up. But you see, with this type of box, with this size, I can make other boxes with it because it's big. I mean, it's 16 inches by 16 inches. 16 by 16 by 15. It's a big box. But with this box here, depending how big the things are, the items are, you can get you can make a couple of, you could use these, make a couple of boxes out, depending on the size. Now you're seeing what I did with this, okay? You know what's good also about the custom boxes? If they don't require packaging material, you could save on your own shipping supplies, such as this. But it just helps out, you know, by doing custom boxes. What I'm trying to say is you can save a lot of money that way, rather than having a big box. Say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to what that guy does. That's his business. He wants to do that. You know, you put it in a bigger box, you put it in there. It's going to cost you more money too. So like I said, out of that box, and I paid for this here at Walmart, this size box here, I believe it's $1.32. And I usually stack up on these. I usually buy about 4 or 5 of them. And they're big boxes to keep. But like I said, I'm making a lot. I make keyboard boxes out of these here. I made this custom box for things of this nature. For this, I'm going to chop up one of these pieces here, and hopefully this might be big enough. I don't know. You know, this might be big enough for it. I don't know. I got to see. It looks like it might be big enough. You fold it up. I got to take the measurements on this here. See? Well, basically that's what you do. You take a ruler and you measure. You know, you get the idea, right? You get the size of it. And if you wanted to make it really simplified for yourself, you go 12 by 12 or 12 by 8. You make your measurements, but make sure when you're doing that, you have enough material to actually make a box, because you might be cutting and you might not have nothing here. This box, this piece here, it looks like I can make a box out of it. I don't know if I do it this way, that way. I don't know. I know I could probably make a box out of this one here. It looks small enough. So this is going out tonight. Well, going out tomorrow. Like I said, right now it's 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. tonight Eastern time here in the East Coast in New York. And like I said, I got my work cut out for me. I don't know if there's any more orders coming in. I haven't checked eBay, but that's what's going out for tomorrow morning. And if you got any questions or comments, and you like what I did here, if you want to subscribe to my channel, that's fine. If you want to give me a thumbs up on this, that's fine as well. I hope you like what I do, and if I could help you out in any way, try to help save, you know, give you money saving tips, I will share it with you. That's what I do to save money on boxes and shipping. And so far, thank God, knock on wood, I haven't had any negative feedbacks or any bad response from any buyers saying that they got the packages damaged. That's going to go out fine. And that's it. So thank you very much for having a good, you know, for checking by and checking out my auctions and stuff. And you have a good day, good night, wherever you are. And thanks again. Take care now. Bye.